You consider yourself an artist, you say, within the documentary segment. Is that an important distinction?
Well, I wouldn't consider it as a distinction as much as a way for me to try to bring the documentary back to photography. I'm not saying that it's been out, but it's been a bit frowned upon in art in art education contexts. The documentary have quite. You could say that the documentary photography has a bit of a problematic past, to say the least. But I think that it's really important to actually use photography to say things about the real world. And
why is that?
Because there is this link between the photograph and the thing, the process that existed in front of the camera at a certain point of time, and that's a quality that is fundamental to photography, and I think in that close link to reality by the fact of the medium, by the technology of the camera, I think that opens up so many possibilities to make a comment on society, on the world that we live in. And for me, to use the term documentary becomes a way of saying that you want to be a socially engaged artist working with reality. It's a project that I started working on about 2 years ago with a nano researcher called Jonas Hannestad. And our project is called Nanosocieties. So then when I applied here for the doctoral position, it became Nanosocieties and Beyond, since I was going to keep working on the project for 5 years longer.
What's the Beyond?
Well, it's everything. I'm still very early on in my research, so I think, it's a very broad term. It's very inclusive. I think it, for me, I think I will I will jump into the more photographic aspects of nano technology in relation to documentary photography, for instance, which is one of the beyonds I see in the future for Nanosocieties.
What I'm thinking about is that you're a photographer and an artist. You're not a scientist. How on earth did you come up with this project, or the idea to this project?
I've previously been interested in changes in society and structures that shape our societies. And I've been looking at this in 2 larger projects that I've been working with the last sort of 10 years. One of them is based in a mining community in Valand, and the other one is based in a fishing village in Sri Lanka. But there I've mainly focused on human actors, on human scale. And I thought it would be interesting to change perspective, and that's how I started to think of nano scale. And
what's so interesting? What is it that interests you about nano?
Nano
technology.
Nanotechnology is based on the level of a billionth of a meter, so it's smaller. It's the smallest particles that we can research on, and it's on a level that's impossible to access by looking at it. We need very complex instrument to access the Nanosocieties. And I thought that there was something really interesting photographically in that challenge, how to represent something that is not visible to the eye.
What difference has the doctorate, the PhD position at Valand made for you in this project?
Well, it's brought the beyond to the project.
Right.
There is it gives me the opportunity to work with the project for 5 more years, which is fantastic. It has meant that I have colleagues, doctoral.
And what difference does that make?
It makes a huge difference. it's 6 of us that were accepted at the same time as PhD candidates, and we come from different fields. So we have, I think we have the ability to open up new ways of thinking to and with each other. It also means I'm part of this new institution that the Valand Academy is, which is really exciting because it comes with a possibility of being part of great changes, I think.
What difference does it make for you that you're actually following a PhD at Valand at the moment?
I mean, Valand has undergone great changes, and in 2012 it became an academy, which has been very important for me with my project, since I'm working with film. For instance, it's been fantastic to have this sort of this accessibility to people who work within other disciplines. So I've had a lot of exchange with the film department here at Valand, and I don't think that would have been as easy in the past, and I would not have had access to the expertise of my peers in the film department if I had not had a position here at Valand myself. So it's meant a lot to the project I'm working on.
When you work with a project like this one, do you have an audience in mind?
Yeah, I always have in mind that the project will be shown.
Yeah.
I don't have, well, with the Nanosocieties, we have Jonas and myself. With Nanosocieties, there are a number of different audiences that I have in mind. It's the research community that are carrying out the research on nanometer scale. It's politicians and decision makers. It's also the art audience who will come to the exhibitions, the institutions. It's also with the mobile exhibitions. It's youth.
Do you think they will perceive it differently?
Yeah, because the presentation to the teenager is quite different from the presentation that will be done for art institutions.
So it's actually several pieces of art.
Yeah, it will be many different outputs or outcomes of the project, a film, a book, exhibitions, and they will have different shapes and forms and contents depending on who the intended audience is.
Thank you.
Thank you.